This portion of our content is sponsored by THQ Nordic and owned by Gravity's Spellforce, Conquest of EO. This 4X RPG adventure game has us all wrapped up in its wonder here at Explominate. In fact, our very own Jesse Dean called this game a masterpiece, and he has almost 400 hours with Spellforce Conquest of EO. So we were really happy to take on this sponsorship. In Spellforce Conquest of EO, you take over the abandoned tower of your old master, who has vanished without a trace. You discover that he was conducting research on the Archfire, the very essence of magic on EO. Against the will of the powerful Circle Mages, you follow his path to unleash the potential of the Archfire to become one of the most powerful mages. Will you go to war with the Circle, or force them to accept you among their ranks? For those of you coming back to Spellforce who are real-time strategy game fans, you're likely going to enjoy this one as well because the producer from the first two games is back for Spellforce Conquest of EO. Like I mentioned before, we at Explominate are really enjoying Spellforce Conquest of EO for its unique mixture of 4X and strategy gameplay and also some role-playing elements that we really have enjoyed. So 4X and strategy game fans, those of you looking for something new and different should definitely check out Spellforce Conquest of EO. As you likely already know, it's available now on PC only on the Steam storefront. Hello and welcome 4X fans, it's Rob here from Explominate here with Galactic Civilizations 4 and its Supernova expansion. And I'm very glad to be showing you this, guys. So if you don't know, I did both a video and written review of Galactic Civilizations 4 where I was rather mean to it, to be honest. I really felt frustrated by its lack of fulfillment of a lot of potential, and I felt like there was a lot of half-baked systems and a lot of things that just weren't ready, right? It just felt like the game was in some ways rushed and in other ways a disappointment. And I think I was even more angry because I saw a lot of potential with this one, and it just felt like it was kind of rushed out the door and left. And now it sounds like the Supernova expansion, a lot of the things that you're going to see now are going to be backported to the base game. But there are some features of the Supernova expansion that are going to make the game better and almost acts like a Crusade expansion to what Galactic Civilizations 3 was. So if you are familiar with the series and you can imagine the Crusade expansion for Galactic Civilizations 3 changed the game dramatically for the better. And I believe that Supernova is going to be doing the same thing. It really feels like it's addressing a lot of the issues I have, and the issues that I really had with Galactic Civilizations 4 are being backported to the original game. So I'm excited. And I think what you're going to find here, the very first feature that I'm going to show you, is probably going to revolutionize 4X gaming, if not gaming in general. And I'm not saying that with a lot of hyperbole. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm literally sure that this first feature that I show you is going to be something that many game developers are going to start to implement, even if they're not already. But I believe, and I'm sure, Galactic Civilization 4 is the first one to try it in the 4X realm. There's probably other people that are trying to do it with other game types and other genres, but that is AI generation. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to custom civilization, and we're going to allow the computer to generate a custom civilization. So with that, let's think of something. How about something strange? We're going to go with a race of sapient jellyfish. Jellyfish, that's how you spell it. That are both friendly and scientific. So we're going to come over here and fix my typo. I don't know if it actually matters, but we're going to do it anyways. So now that I have both friendly and scientific, so they're a friendly group of jellyfish, I'm going to hit the generate button. And you're going to be pretty wowed, I should say, by just how cool this is. So it's the Jelly Mine Collective. That's something that's created itself. Aurora the gelatinous something. I can't see it. We're going to look at it here in a second. And this has all been generated by AI. So, exploring the cosmos together. The Jelly Mine Collective, a technologically advanced species of gelatinous beings, were both scientists and warriors. Their highly developed intellect allowed them to explore the furthest reaches of the galaxy, while their formidable fighting skills kept any potential threats at bay. This has all been created based on my prompt here. And now it's going to generate an image. So this is something that I believe is a work in progress. They haven't quite, I mean, they've talked about it a little bit, saying that it's not quite ready, but it's still doing it. So, yeah, I don't see anything that's quite jellyfish-like. Kind of this, I mean, I guess that's the most jellyfish-like thing. Or unless we're going to do with that. And you know what? That's gelatinous. Maybe I don't know what jellyfish are in this world anyways. So that's a weird thing. I'm gonna let it go there. So they're aquatic. That's something that it created. It understood that jellyfish are aquatic. I can change the cultural affinities to be whatever it is I want. So authority, instead of authority, I can make it compassion. And also innovative. So that's more in line with what I've got here, right? And scientific and expansionist. That sounds fine. It's Jelly Mind Collective. I can change this to be whatever it is I want. The Jelly Collective is something that is the short name. I think the Jellies or Jelly Collective or the Collective is probably better. So let's go with the Collective. I mean, that's just my opinion. And the ship's call sign, it doesn't look like it's filled that in. So Aurora the Gelatinous Sage. I like that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so it changes. It also chooses themes and stuff like that, but you can change them based on what you want them to be. So here we go. Let's go with maybe a bluish or like a teal. Yeah, we'll go with teal. And the Drengen theme doesn't really feel like it fits. Maybe something a little bit more like, maybe like the Festron. Who knows? And then we can come over here and change their abilities. We can also change their citizens. Anything that looks jellyfish-like. Yeah, the irradiated amoeba. There we go. Kind of like that. And then we can come over here and change the fleets as well, too. We can change the color. We can change the ship style. We can do all that, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and save it. Not that this is something that I really particularly would play with right now. But I'm going to save all this civilization data. And now I'll have this new race of jellyfish, the Jellyfish Collective. So that particular system is a work in progress, of course. This is early access, right? So this is something that will be fleshed out and continue to improve upon as the early access period is, you know, underway. Let me delete this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and delete this one. But yeah, I mean, I've messed around with it a little bit. This one was the Serpent Syndicate. Of course, this image is ridiculous, but they had a really cool story. I wish it would come up. So the Serpent Syndicate, a cunning and ruthless faction of intelligent snakes, seeks universal domination through destruction and chaos. And they created this flag, which actually kind of looks like a snake. I liked it a lot. And then I did this one as well. The Carbon Collectors are a relentless horde of machines driven by their insatiable lust for power. They scour the galaxy in search of organic life to capture and harness as a source of energy for their vast empire. That was kind of, you know, like, I guess I had the Matrix in mind when I created this. And that's all stuff that the AI created. I just gave it a very short prompt and it did all of that. I really honestly believe that in many ways this will be the future of gaming, but for now I think it's the future of 4X gaming in the short term, especially with the amount of things that the AI can create. And I know that they're working on this. So stuff like events, stuff like dialogue between two factions, and dialogue between the AI and you know, like, you know, when it comes up and it starts to talk to you about the various things that it might talk about, right? Like your power relative to them, or, you know, something you did that they didn't like. Those are the things that they're working on to have the AI create. And I think when you start to actually consider the possibilities of a game that utilizes AI in that way, you'll quickly understand how amazing that'll be, because there'll be so much content created that no two games will ever be the same. And I think that's just insanely exciting. I'm really excited to see where that goes. For now though, you can't play as any of these new guys. So there are some new AI faction, or some new factions that this expansion is going to introduce. The Irradiated, the Seeing, the Phalanoids, which are moth people. I have to admit, I love these people. I love them so much. And look at them, they're little moths, little moth citizens. The Crystalline, and then the Korath, which are people that should be, a lot of people you should be pretty familiar with. They are and have been in every game. other than one, I believe. And the 10 resistance have returned. So all of them are here. You can play as the Terran Alliance. We're going to go ahead and play as the Terran Alliance. And we're going to continue on and play as them so I can show you some of the other features that are new to this game. This is all new. This game settings screen is all new. You can make your changes. It also does the recommended system specs like it has before in the past, but everything is just much more easy to read and honestly just accessible in my opinion. We're going to leave the things as they are. We're going to add maybe one more. We'll do one more random. And we'll start our game. And in doing so, I'm going to show you a bunch of things that are, at least that I can remember, that are new to this game. Alright, so we're already here. So there has been some performance improvements as well. I think you'll notice those as well. But alright, where do I start? There are many things here. So first of all, I think the most apparent maybe to those of you who have played Galactic 4 will be the fact that the sensor range and the movement range of your ships has dramatically been reduced, so that it feels more wondrous and dangerous to venture out and to see what's going out there, and also just, you know, to kind of leave an air of mystery, right? And so what you'll see is that these ships all have, like I said, reduced sensor and movement range, and it just really kind of feels like you're discovering space in a way that the base game didn't show, or at least the current Galactic 4 didn't show. And I'm sure that that's something that will probably go back to the base game. In fact, Star Trek has a really good reputation for taking improvements that they end up developing in their expansions and backporting them to a base game. So I wouldn't worry about that if you're not really interested in the expansion. However, I think that once you start to see some of the things, especially the AI stuff, you're going to be like, wow, I think this expansion is pretty cool. I always recommend waiting until it's done, but early access will be going on for as long as I think it takes. I can imagine it would probably go until fall. And in the meantime, they're going to be working on the AI and fleshing out a lot of these things, and also, you know, trying to do their best to balance and pace things well. So, all right, enough of that preamble. There we go. So we have the TAS Discovery. They're now called flagships instead of the survey ships. They do survey, but they also have a beam volley, which is new, and of course the missile volley. And these are definitely like the centerpiece of your fleet, right? These will be ships that you can upgrade and make really strong over time. They start off really strong. So we're going to have them survey. The TAS Endeavor is going to go to its auto colonize, and we'll see where it goes. I thought it would go to Artemis, but maybe Artemis is right there. And then we're going to take our probe here and explore. And again, as you see, the sensor range is dramatically reduced. Again, I think to the absolute betterment of this game. So next thing that we'll talk about is the research, because that's the next thing we're going to do. So as you can see, this entire screen is also changed, and the idea now is that you have a couple technology candidates that are really close to breakthroughs. So you get a 50% research bonus to them, which means that they are significantly easier and faster to research, right? So we can go over here and take research districts so that we can continue to research things faster. But I'll come back over here. You can still continue on with whatever candidate you choose, right? So even though you're closer to making breakthroughs with these, that doesn't mean that some of these aren't going to be very viable and also maybe just as cheap, right? So armed shuttles right now are also 7 turns compared to the subspace scanning, and starbases are also 7 turns. And you can now use this much improved technology navigator to figure out what it is you want to do, where you want to go down the tech tree, with clickable icons here to show you different tech trees. And like I said, just have a better understanding of what the tree looks like and where you should go with it, and really navigate that part of the game in a much better way, in my opinion. So great stuff all around. We should go over here and we'll take our leaders. We're going to go look for somebody who's got decent intelligence. She's got decent intelligence, and we'll make her our Minister of Technology. So we can go over here, and now we have a third. And the third one being asteroid mining. Great stuff. All right. Next up will be the core world improvement screen. So first of all, this screen is completely different. I think much better organized. It's much easier to figure out what your planetary output is by just looking quickly, not only at the numbers here, but also at the numbers that are broken down below. And I just think the screen in general is just much better organized. So I like it a lot. Also, the icons, as you can see, for improvements are significantly improved. They're much higher fidelity. They look much better. It just is much better all around. And so we come over here. We'll look at Techapods here for the manufacturing bonus, but we're going to need something in the meantime. So maybe we take this capital mainframe with this also already improved hex right here. So it's going to gain a 5 bonus. So plus 15% research for its level 5. And just a really great improvement right there to go there. So we'll let the Techapod hatchery be something. Maybe we go ahead and rush it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and rush it. All right. And it increased our manufacturing by quite a bit there. So great stuff. So that screen itself, the core world screen, is definitely improved. It's also probably something I'd imagine will go back to the base game as well. Next up is the cultural progression, which now you gain culture points per turn, and you are allowed to invest those culture points into any of these ideologies as you see fit. You will get a discount. You can see underneath opportunity, the ideology discount based on, I assume, based on your strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if that's fully balanced out yet. I mean, we are an innovative group, so I think that definitely looks like it's based on at least the Terran, right? So the Terrans are innovative, and I believe they're also, I think they're transparent. I forgot what their other skill set is. Let me look over here. So we'll look over the civilization. So we're going to go ahead and go to normal tax rate for a second. I don't believe this is where I was supposed to go, actually. I don't remember what the other skill set is. So anyways, we'll come back over to the cultural progression. And as I said, you'll get discounts based on like your strengths and your like civilization's characteristics, right? So you can now freely invest any of these points into any of these, regardless of any of that, but you will get discounts based on your strengths. And so that means for compassion, right? You would need 10 culture points for the first one without any discount. But innovation, you're only going to need 7 culture points to get that first Eureka. So yeah, it's a thing to consider for sure. Like 8 culture points here as opposed to 9 over here for authority. We have a little bit more authority. Equality is going to be 10, and so on and so forth. So that's going to allow you to better define your culture and your civilization in ways that you want to, instead of having to rely on the RNG of what it used to be, where you'd get those culture points from random events and so on, and they didn't always work out in the way you'd want them to. In fact, it felt a little bit too random, like I said. So now it's better, it's better suited for those who want to have much more control over how their civilization, invest the culture points and also, gets those benefits and so on. Anyway, so let's go on to the civilization policies. We can do brainstorming since we are that kind of person, that kind of people, I should say. And we'll go to our idle shipyard and we'll come down and build a couple probes and we'll drop a colony ship. Why not? And then we're going to explore for a little bit. I'm hopefully going to be able to find someone and show you another thing that I think is really cool about the potential with this AI stuff. So Artemis is over here. Where are you going? We're going to go ahead and draft colonist. And we'll take that over to Artemis over here. I'm super curious to know where the Endeavor is going. I told it to colonize the closest, and it now is turning around. It must realize that was closer now. Artemis is being colonized. So Artemis is inhospitable as we have seen so far. It is cold, barren, and has limited atmosphere and gravity. So we should celebrate this achievement across our civilization for a culture point. We make this world a monument to our success and future expansion for +3 planetary influence and approval, or allow the corporation to license rights to this colony. We're going to go ahead and Actually, I'm not really worried about approval. We'll get approval up. So 500 to our treasury is great. And we'll take the research districts. And now we're going to come back over to subspace scanning because I want that sensor range increase. It's probably the first time I've ever felt compelled to get sensor range increases in any of the Galactic Civilizations games. So Mars is inhospitable too, and we're going to either gain a leader, add minerals, or add a technology. I'm going to gain a leader because I like having leaders. We're going to take a look, see what that leader is. Very smart leader, pretty social. Maybe we swap them out for, here we go, we're going to go here instead with the 9% bonus. So this one's got diligence. We're going to use that to add exploration here. So ship range, much higher, and also 1 move per turn, which is great. Now we have our techapods complete. Our mainframe is doing some great research now at 7.3. This hasn't quite caught up yet, has it? And oh, this is input and output. I just noticed that. This is input, so this is what's coming in from your colonies, and that's output. Understandable. Okay. Yep, I should actually read. That'll help. So we're going to leave this for another improvement that we'll end up getting, hopefully, that has some sort of... There, like this one. Not enough Prometheon, so we'll need some Prometheon. And the Bernal Sphere for what? For a charge? No, we're not going to worry about that just yet. We'll go over here and grab the manufacturing district. Increase our manufacturing capability so we can increase our improvements capability. All right, so now we have 3. Looks like Rapido is dead. And we're going to go ahead and launch this probe as well and allow it to do its thing. So hopefully, again, we'll find another civilization soon so I can show you more of how the AI will work to make more content for this game. We have enough culture points. We're going to go to Innovative, and we're going to go to and take this Eureka. There we go. Very good. All right, so we can increase our improvement or our movement speed by 1. We can do armed shuttles. It looks like our military advisor recommends we research this, so we'll just go ahead and take that. And we've taken it. That was quick. A series of theories, space doctrine, where we... So this will give me frigate modules, siege modules, max enacted policies increased by 1. We'll take that. Actually, yeah, it's only 4 turns. Let's do it. All right, so the Constable is able to explore. These are our military ships. And so we're going to leave one on Earth because they like to be defended, right? And then the Star Eagle can go around looking for stuff. And we'll continue. Trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten here. So clearly this is clearly like color coded now. It's different. It used to be just blue. This has been given some color. I mean, that's a very minor thing to point out, but I'm pointing it out anyways. All right. And imagine too that the list of the improvements for this expansion are still in a work of progress, really. I mean, I'll link the list down below in the description, but you know, a lot of the stuff that's coming isn't here yet. And like I said, I believe that they're looking at, I mean, I'm guessing roughly a 6-month early access period. So if this capsule contains military equipment, and we'll have Prometheon. All right, great. So that means I think I have enough for this mainframe, right? No. How much do I need? 5. All right, well, it is definitely not 5. I got 1. 1 whole Prometheon. And I don't see any... Oh, there's some right here. All right. All right, great. So the Terran Alliance happens to be the civilization doing the most research, and that's because of that fantastic boost we got from that early improvement there on that awesome tile. So subspace streaming, we don't need that because we don't have multiple... You know, I should be playing with those because I feel like the game is intended for that, but I just don't do it. All right, let's go to planetology and improve, and then we'll come to our empty policy slot now that we've gained it, and we could take 20% research for a negative 10% income, and we're going to do that. We're really going to lean hard on our research capabilities here, especially with such a great start. So let's see what we can do here. We can do one more manufacturing, and then we'll start focusing again on some research. We want to get the Prometheon. Actually, instead of planetology, why don't we do we have it? Star bases. There we go. We're going to do star bases so we can start to move on the Prometheon there and also grab some other. Looks like we have some thulium there and also some durantium in both sides. So yeah, something to start grabbing up as we can. That's a heavily defended precursor anomaly. We're not going to go there. At least I hope it doesn't go there. All right. There's a really nice planet, but it's oceanic, so we're not going to be able to do anything with that. All right, great. So we've taken the star bases. We'll take asteroid mining for some additional manufacturing output. And where are my constructors? I thought I got constructor ships with that. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they gave you 2 free constructors, but I guess not. Wow, I've never seen this. Only one of these players can be built by. So I guess now you can get heavy surveys. Okay, so that's our ability to rebuild the Endeavor if it goes down. All right, that makes sense. Okay. All right, so now we start to take some more research districts until we can build the mainframe here. And what's the eyes of the universe? It's also +3. What do we need for it? It's also Prometheon. So we might want to work on that as well. Just get Prometheon. Looks like it's going to be what we need for any sort of decent research improvement. Orbital, so we can do the battle cruiser doctrine. Orbital mining allows us to construct orbital mines for our colonies. This is actually really cool. So I want to show you, this is another thing that I actually forgot to mention. So now we can build on our planets, we can build improvements, right? Orbital improvements. So for a variety of different ways, or for a variety of different reasons, we might want to build like an orbital academy, which is where you gain hit points to your ships. Orbital market for +1 wealth. Planetary beacon for influence growth. And then if there's a, let's see if there's something here. If there's a resource there that you want that you wouldn't be able to before, like if it wasn't cored out, you would not be able to acquire it. You can now acquire it through these upgrades here. And there's a bunch of them. There's quite a few. So I mean, you see Orbital Research Lab, there's a space elevator for minerals, and so on and so forth. So now you can do upgrades to these based on your ability to afford them. They're pretty expensive. So as you can see, the treasury -50, that's not too bad. But like here's -250, which is, you know, until your economy's going, that's a pretty big chunk. I mean, it's a fourth of what I've got right now. So let's go ahead and look at our cultural progression. Individualism, independence for 15% decay, -15% decay from colonies. We're going to take that. And then we're also going to look at drafting some citizens. And we will go to auto-colonize. Looks like it took that of the 2 of them. I wonder why. All right. Asteroid miner. Great. So we'll take these asteroid sets. We're going to build that here. And then we're going to build over here as well. And we have our second event now. So among the debris lies the remains of a precursor ship. So we can scroll through here and see all this, but calibrate to defend the fleet from laser weapons or missile weapons or kinetic weapons. We're going to do from laser weapons for free field generator ship upgrade. All right. I'm hoping to find somebody soon. We've got quite a few scouts out there, so hopefully we can find somebody. Yes, we'll take that. And let's look to see what our manufacturing is like right now. It's 10.4, which is great for this early on. So continue to improve that as we can. So we've ran into one of mine, which is great. I'm so happy that that was the first one we ran into. All right. It's so ridiculous. If you're, if you like to remain reverent, then of course you would want to make sure that those look decent or just not have them in your game. But for now, I think it's funny. So we're going to go ahead and add the field generator for shield strength. And we're going to come over, and as soon as we can, we're going to take the universal translator, because I want to show you a little thing that they're doing too with this. And I think you're also going to appreciate the work being put into the new like trade dialogue. It's really kind of cool. So, all right, so we go ahead for +1 wealth, -1 farming, benevolence, cultural awareness, or +1 farming, -500 treasury. No, thank you. We'll go ahead for the wealth and negative farming. All right, and Jake Lawn, you should go on down, and you can also go ahead and, where is it? Oh, that's a constructor. My bad. Constructor can come over here. And we'll come over here to look at what we can do. So we can actually improve Xeno manufacturing after we get Xeno manufacturing tech. So for now, we're going to go ahead and add this. And we're going to come back to, I thought I had just rushed a colony ship. Why is it sitting there? That's so weird. Why did you do that? Eject all ships. I thought I ejected it with Jake Lawn on there. I lost the guy there. That's a bit of a bug right there. And what we'll do is we'll set you to auto-colonize as well. Alright, so the colony ship there, and then there is no other colony ship. That's so sad. I know I built it. Huh. Alright, we've encountered the cartel. We'll assign our citizens to take the universal translator, confirmed here. And Cosmic Pioneers, the Serpent Syndicate, has the most colonized worlds. So that is the group that I made of the sapient snakes. And that ridiculous looking person there. So let's go to Universal Translator. We'll take that. I wonder how many planets they have. There's a bunch over here. We're almost at a point that we can talk to them, and I can kind of show you like the rough outline of what it looks like. Ooh, hold on a second. Hold on, you. Come over to Troy 1. Do not pass go. Go right there. Troy 1 is a much better. Alright, so we can come to individualism, inviting +3 citizens of random species. We could do that, but I'm not going to. I don't think I have the room on Earth right now. Oh no, I do. I most certainly do. So actually, we'll take this. Take them. We'll eject that ship again. And we'll put a Drath on it. Why not? Because this is going to be a constructor anyways. So we'll come over here and actually, you know what we want? We want this one. We'll go ahead and build it right here, a mining starbase with a Durantium. Take the mining drones there and we'll continue on. So, all right, I really want the Prometheon. I don't have it yet, of course. We'll add this to wealth here, down here, for quite a bit of a increase as well. And a siege, no. We'll do another constructor with one of those new aliens we have there. And we'll look at using the telescope on a spot that we haven't been yet. So we'll come over here and use it there. Those are good spots. All right. Angenitar 3 and also Angenitar 1 are both very good. So can we draft colonists, we can. And we'll take that to, what is it? Which one of the two we're going to like better? This one's a 20 and this is a 33. We'll go to the 33 for sure. Take Troy 1. All right, so we can't risk the safety of our people, stabilize the crust. I'm not going to read all of this. So we're going to do that for the negative 100 treasury. We're just going to go ahead and... I'm trying to get through so I can show you what it's like when we talk to the races. And we can after this. So we're going to do the Xeno research because that's our thing. Yep, we now have that. And we also have another... So the group of Torian scientists who are attempting to discover the laws of physics. We'll build a Torian academy for sure. Let's go over to the cartel. All right, so... kind of funny, ridiculous looking, but whatever. Again, those are all things that I'm sure are a work in progress. I have a trade proposal for you. And this is where it gets really cool. So... this will change, like, so, my delightful alien counterpart. The Terrans have an offer for you. We are offering asteroid mining technology. The Venomous Viper. Deal accepted. Your offer is as venomous as your bite. That's something that the AI has created. I mean, I don't know what your offer is as venomous as your bite is really, like, the best thing to say right there. But these are all things that are meant to be in the line of, like, their corresponding race there. And I love it. I freaking love it. I think that the idea and intention there is going to make the interactions between alien factions much more, you know, dynamic, and in a lot of ways it's going to make me feel a lot more immersed. So, and I know that the idea too is that they're going to work towards having the AI interact with you like a pop-up screen occasionally of something like relative to or related to what you're talking about, or what they're, you know, maybe what they're angry about, or what they're happy about, or the things that they're afraid of, and so on and so forth. Taunt you in some ways, and other things like that. And I think that is really just, it's going to change the way 4X games are played. And if, like I said, if you have something like that in place, you can make a game different every single time you play it. And the possibilities there are just extraordinarily exciting. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited about the Supernova expansion. I believe it will do what Crusades did for Galactic Civilizations 3, for Galactic Civilizations 4. I think it's going to change it for the better. It's going to shore up its issues. And I would be really surprised to see it not be a standalone when or if it ever goes to Steam. I'm hoping it does. But my thought would be that it would be very much like the Crusade expansion for Galactic Civilizations 3, and that like future versions of the game will just be, it'll just have this expansion included with it as a standalone. There was the wording standalone on the website for a minute, and I think they took it down because it was maybe a little bit too revealing of what their future plans were. But my thought is that it's going to be a standalone expansion for the eventual, inevitable, hopeful Steam release, and that the game moving forward will just be Galactic Civilizations 4 or Supernova. So I will check back in every time this game gets a major update, and anytime it starts to have new features and stuff like that, to show you guys what's going on, and so that, oh wow, you can actually see who's what and what's doing what very early. You can already tell that somebody, not me, is the best here, and that I am not doing all that well. So I thought I was doing better than I am, but I'm certainly not. So the plan, though, is to, of course, come back to it as things are updated, as the game is upgraded in many ways, and it starts to feel more fleshed out through the early access period. So check back in from time to time as I provide you insight with those things, because honestly, this game has become extraordinarily more exciting with the idea of AI kind of, like I said, creating content, creating events even. I think that's part of the process too, or part of the idea. So there's going to be so many things that this game is going to be able to do with the idea of adding an AI element to it like it has. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. If there's anything that I can answer, please leave a comment or a question in the comments below. And otherwise, from time to time, I'll check back in as things are progressing and check in on it and show you what's going on. So this was Rob from Explorminates. Until next time, keep exploring.